Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, I got an email from a subscriber. This is a young guy, he's 22, and he emailed me because he's having trouble dealing with social anxiety. This is something he's had for his whole life, and he's looking for help in that area. Also, tying in with the social anxiety, he reached a point in his life now that even though he watches my channel and has learned a lot and is well aware of all the stories and all that, he is obviously a relationship guy and he's looking for a girl, a significant other, as he describes. Now, I'm going to get into that part of it later on in the video, but first, he's looking for help, obviously, with the social anxiety, improving that, as well as tips and suggestions with finding that significant other, not making the same mistakes that a lot of these guys make in the videos, all that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go through his email here. It's very quick, and then break this thing down to really help him out. And any other you guys out there that got social anxiety, things like that, because I know there are a lot. And definitely I can help you out in that department. So he starts off, he says, Hi SSM, I've been watching your channel for a while now, and I really enjoy your content. I need some advice. I'm 22 years old, and after dealing with some emotional stuff, I am now ready to start looking for a significant other. I'm aware of the red flags that you have pointed out, but the problem is I have severe social anxiety. What do you suggest I do in order to meet someone despite my anxiety, while at the same time taking care not to fall into the traps you've spoken about? I really appreciate your input. Thank you so much. So, what I'm going to do here is first I'm going to address the social anxiety element, because that's the main thing going on here, which I think is the most important thing. And not to mention, a lot of guys do have that in varying degrees. And then after I address that, then I'll get into the whole, okay, now that you've dealt with that thing, tips to find your girl, okay? And now, you all know I feel in that issue there, but I will come back to it at the end to help this guy out. Now, with regards to the social anxiety, here's the deal. I've mentioned this before a lot of times in the videos. In spite of how you guys see me here on camera, I'm actually very much an introvert. I am very much a loner, and I've been that way my entire life. However, I do have the ability that I can talk to anybody. You can put me anywhere on the planet, and as long as somebody speaks English, I can strike up a conversation with them. I can find a common ground, something to chit-chat about, shoot the bull, be friendly with, bond and connect on some level. And this has taken, obviously, a lot of life experience, and I'm very good at it, okay? But I prefer to spend the majority of my time alone, or when I'm with people, I prefer one-on-one or small groups. I don't love big parties or big social events. Honestly, it's just not my thing. When I go to those things, I'm never that enthusiastic about it. So I usually talk to a couple people off on the side in different rooms, stuff like that. But if I have to work the room and do all that, I can do it. And people think I'm a social butterfly. It's total bullshit. I just have learned to do it. So if I can do that, a lot of you guys can do that too. Now, I don't have the social anxiety a lot of you guys may have in varying degrees, but I do know, just like anything in life, you can improve it to help you out. Because at the end of the day, even though our society is moving more in a direction that you interact with people one-on-one less and less, let's be honest here, still it's necessary in terms of relationships on all levels to move forward in this world, and so on and so forth. So my suggestion to you, bro, and anybody else out there that may have issues with this, is you got to take it one day at a time. You need to get out of your comfort zone and essentially do what scares you and start talking to people. Now, I don't mean jumping into a big crowd of people and start talking, because that will just freak you out. You may have a meltdown right then and there. But what I do mean is making the decision that you're going to try to get better at this. And what I mean by this is that I want you to make it your point that going forward, whenever you go out anywhere, you at least talk to somebody, at least one person, when you're out, okay? If normally you're quiet and keep your head down and you wear your sunglasses inside and don't talk to anybody, don't make any eye contact, start doing it. Take off the sunglasses when you're in the grocery store or wherever, and just walking by, and then you look at somebody and smile and say hello. That's it. And it could be the person at the checkout counter at the grocery store. Just smile and say hello. That's it. That's all you got to do. And get in a habit of doing that wherever you go. Just saying hello. That's it. To somebody behind the counter. Then when you get a little more comfortable about that, and that shouldn't take too long, then you start asking questions. Lady behind the counter, she's scanning the food at the grocery store, and bagging it. Just say, hey, how's your day going? That's it. A simple question. How's your day going? How are you doing? Stuff like that. They'll talk to you. Small chit chat. That's all you got to do. And then as time goes on, you get better and better. You can start becoming observant about things that you can strike up conversations with. I can strike up conversations with anybody. So for instance, if let's just say you work out, you go to the gym, and you see you're bench pressing, and the dude next to you is this gigantic gorilla, and he's benching 400 plus pounds, strike up a conversation. How long did it take you to do that kind of weight? He'll gladly tell you. You know that he'll gladly tell you. There you go. That's a conversation. Or you see some dude at the gym and he's really jacked and looks like he has like 2% body fat. Just ask him, man, what's your diet like? What kind of diet are you on to be that ripped? He'll answer your question. Striking up conversation. And the more you do this, the more you'll get better at it. And this down the road will help you in all areas of your life, but also with women. And I'm getting to that in a second for this guy. Or let's say you're getting your hair cut, and the woman cutting your hair in her little chair where she has that in the salon, she's got pictures of her kids there. Ask questions about her kids. How old are your kids? What are they like? What grade are they in? Whatever. Get her talking. Not hard. You're in line at Subway or some sandwich shop, and you see a bunch of construction workers walk in that are working on a project out front in the parking lot or one of the stores there. Just say, hey, how's that project going along? It's a hot day. It must be really hot working out here in the 95-degree heat. They'll talk to you. Practice, 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 okay? And I guarantee, just like anything in life, whether it's learning how to play golf for the first time or tennis or whatever the hell you like to do, in the beginning, you're going to suck at it. But with practice and time, it'll get easier. It's the same thing with getting more comfortable with people. And that then will help you, to this guy, anybody else for that matter that's looking for relationships and dating, to start talking to the gals. Because here's the deal. If you have severe social anxiety, and yet you want to find that gal to be in a relationship with, for you relationship guys, if you have a severe anxiety and you can't talk to women, you're not going to get very far. And what will happen is you'll ultimately settle for one gal that kind of gives you some attention, right? And the second she starts treating you like crap, you'll put up with it because you haven't been able to connect with anybody else. See what I mean? And you'll end up being like one of these guys in these stories. However, if you go out of your comfort zone and you practice talking to people, just starting off with the hellos, and then how are you, how was your day, and actually finding some common ground with somebody to talk to, you'll get so comfortable talking to people, even though you may not like it, that it'll be a lot easier when you meet these different women, go on dates and all that, if that's what you do. And it'll be easier for you, and that way then you're not going to settle for someone that gives you a little bit of attention, a little bit of scraps. Okay? So that's what I want you to do, bro. Starting tomorrow, I want you to, when you're out somewhere, just go out and just start talking to people. If you're already comfortable saying just hi to people, ask people questions. And the more you do it, do this for, a couple weeks, a couple months. Make it your goal. Do once a month, for a month. Every day for a month, you're out somewhere and just talk to somebody. That's it. And I guarantee at the end of that month, you'll be better. Okay? And also talk to people that you're less intimidated talking to. Whether it's, if you're not intimidated talking to old people, talk to old people. Okay? And when you get comfortable talking to old people, then talk to people that are younger, to the point that you're actually comfortable talking to actually women you're attracted to. Because if you're nervous and shy and all that, remember, they're not attracted to guys that have no confidence, so you got to work on that. But you will get better in time. Slowly but surely, to the point that you're practicing talking, and you can even talk to girls. Go from there. Now, once you accomplish that and you're feeling a lot better, and you're a lot better with the social thing, even though you may not want to do it, then at that point, then if you want to start looking for girls, for relationships and all that. But here's the deal. You said you're 22. I'm going to assume that at 22 you've gotten your degree or you've gotten your certification or something that can get you a job. Because at 22, you got to be focused on your purpose, my man. Okay? Now, you can do a relationship, but your top priority can't be that girl. It needs to be your purpose. Getting that career started, moving up in that career, or in terms of either it's the degree to get that career or that job or certification, you need to be on your grind. Okay, and I don't mean grinding that girl. I mean grinding on your job to make money, to pay off your debts that you have, to put money away, to build wealth. Okay? The girls should be dead last. Girls are always, in my opinion, dead last on the order of importance. Purpose first. Girls dead last. Okay? So, but let's just say for argument's sake, you got your degree or certification, you got a job, you got some money saved up. At this point, okay, you can start dating. But remember, You're not going to get very far if you have that social anxiety, so you got to work on the stuff I talked about in the beginning, and you got to obviously, even if you are dating, and be careful with this and selective, your purpose comes first. Your grind comes first. You don't meet some girl and say, oh, I really like her, so I'm going to slow down in trying to move up the ladder at my job or to improve in this area or that area. No. She comes last. Because if you watch my channel for a while, you found out what happens when guys make the girl their purpose. When these relationship guys put her on the pedestal, right? Bad things. So I want you to be that guy. So when you reach the point that you're ready to date and all that, remember all the lessons of this channel. Remember to pay attention to the red flags. Remember that you don't put her first. You put you first. The guys that put the girl first, they don't end up, it doesn't end well for them. They actually end up being cheated on, her asking for open relationship, or in the friend zone. Also, you need to check them. They will test you. They will pull BS. You need to have the balls to check a girl. Most guys do not have the balls to do that. If she's being disrespectful, if she's just having a bad day and she decides to lash out at you and snap at you in some form or another, you call her on it, okay? If she shows up late 15 minutes for a date, you call her on that. You get my point? And you don't have to be screaming and yelling and cursing and all that, but you bring it up. You show her, even if she gets annoyed with it, she'll respect you. At least you have the balls to say something, because most guys don't. So you don't put them on the pedestal, you put yourself first, and you always check them. And you be unpredictable, you be mysterious. You're not bombarding them with texts all the time. You're not taking her to the same place every freaking Friday night. You're mixing things up. Okay? Now, this is not the dating channel, but I've been on enough of them and enough of relationships in my life that I've learned these things. So I will throw these out on occasion for you young guys that want to know. So you remember all the things you learned from these stories. You keep watching my channel. You keep watching and listening to all these stories. You watch other channels, and you put this all together, and that will help you. Now, you start dating some girl, you find some girl that you like because you've been working on your social anxiety, you've gotten better, and you're on your purpose and doing well, and you met some girl you like. Okay, you take your time. You do not rush into a relationship. I tell you all the time, you spend serious time getting to know her, seeing what she's like, what her family is like. Eventually you'll meet them. What are they like? Do they have a good, loving family, or is there a lot of drama and chaos? If there's a lot of drama and chaos, get out of there, because that's going to become your relationship and your life if you're with her. How is she at communication? When there's an issue, will she communicate in a healthy manner, or does she try to just twist it around and blame you? Can she apologize when she's wrong? Okay, these are all important things. How is she with money? Does she have that live for tomorrow, live like there's no tomorrow attitude? Or does she realize, hey, you know what? I need to be responsible and put away money and not piss it away on bullshit thinking I could die tomorrow, that attitude. You got to find all these things about her. This is why you take your time and spend a long time before you even consider getting into a relationship, okay? At least 6 months. And then because you talk about significant other, which I think you mean marriage, which in my opinion, in the 2020s you shouldn't do, but you're obviously, if you're traditional or religious, you might do it anyway. You spend years getting to know her and what she's like. And even if you consider getting married one day, the final thing is you move in just to see what she's like living with her. But remember, they can put on an act for years. How many stories have I done that you may have heard that they put on the act for years? So you got to be careful. So if this is what you want to do, it's not what I would do, but if that's what you want to do, these are all the things you can do to help you get on that path to conquer your social anxiety, meet the girl that you want. But remember, do not fall for the bullshit of this whole the one thing. There is no the one girl. That's a bunch of bullshit they show in all the movies and TV shows. There's almost 8 billion people on the planet. I think we're going to hit that number this month, apparently, according to what I observed in the news. Plenty of options out there. But if you have such social anxiety that you can't talk to anybody, that's going to limit your options. You'll end up taking someone that will treat you like shit just because you don't want to be alone. Bad idea. Work on your social skills. Even if it scares the crap out of you to do it, to talk to people, do it. The best things I've ever had in my life are when I went out of my comfort zone and forced myself to do what scares me, okay? Believe me. And it wasn't easy, but I did it. And I still do new things that I don't know about or whatever, just to make something cool happen in my life. And I'm so happy I do. And you can do the same thing. You can get better with the anxiety, but you have to make the effort to do it. And then when you're with that girl, remember all the lessons you learn in this channel, and that will help you out. But the most important thing is No rush. Take your time. And again, you're 22. She ain't your top priority, man, okay? Your grind, your purpose is your top priority. I will be saying that to my dying breath, all right? The grind, the purpose, improving yourself, building wealth, all that, because your 20s is the time to really establish who you're going to be. The decisions you make between about 15 and 25 will determine your whole life. There's no need to rush anything. And by the way, when you're hooking up with her, always wear protection. Always. You don't want to get her pregnant and then now you feel like you got to marry her and rush because you got her pregnant. You wear protection, you dispose of your protection, because there are a lot of gals out there that want to rope in a guy, and that's how they do it. And also, remember the lesson I tell you about in the videos about how a lot of girls will settle. Well, let's be honest, they almost all settle. They'll get to their mid-20s and they're done riding the carousel with Chad and Tyrone, and they're done with the bad boys and looking for a nice guy. And they might go after you, a nice guy that has social anxiety, who will take any girl that will pay attention to him, no offense, especially if she's pretty, and that guy will be taken advantage of, lied to, cheated on, all that, because she's settled. And you know what I'm talking about there. So just be careful. You take your time. So, bro, these are my suggestions and hopefully will help you out. But again, start with working on your social skills. And if it takes you a year to really get better at it, then fine, take a year. There's no freaking rush. You're 22. You got your whole life to meet girls, to have your significant other as you describe it, okay? Now, again, you know my opinion on that whole thing. I don't need to repeat myself, but just be careful. But you can get better over time just like anything else. So, hopefully that's a big help to you and anybody else that has issues with social anxiety and social skills and all that, okay? Hopefully that can help. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Any other tips out there? If any of you guys have social issues like he does, social anxiety, and there are things that you've done that have helped you out, by all means, comment away. He'll definitely read this and will help him out. And also, guys, if you got a question you'd like to ask me, just by all means email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just put Ask SSM in the title, whatever that subject may be, and if it's a good one, I'll definitely do it down the road. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.